On the last Tuesday show of the semester, we have an inside look into the No Man's Land Film Festival and their partnership with the Environmental Policy Awareness Coalition.
Then later, students gather for the 19th anniversary of the Columbine High School shooting and discuss gun violence. Then we celebrate Earth Week with a wide variety of sustainability events around campus. All this and more on CTV News starting now.
Good evening, CSU. I'm Sydney Paul, and thank you for joining us this Tuesday night. We will be looking at the first city arborist of Fort Collins, but first, let's start with the top headline of the day.
I'm Kira Coles, and let's find out why a CSU graduate program is in jeopardy. Could you imagine completing your entire graduate program just to find out that your degree was worth nothing? Well, 12 grad students filed a lawsuit against CSU after the university halted efforts to secure accreditation for a landscape architecture master's degree program 7 years after its launch. The lawsuit filed on March 20th demands the university pay back tuition collected from students. In May of 2012, one of the students who is now suing expressed concern over the program's status in an email to Bradley Goetz, a CSU professor and the director of the program. Goetz wrote back, "The program cannot be accredited until after there has been a graduating class. We plan to work toward accreditation according to the process identified by the Landscape Architecture Board." After the first class graduated, CSU didn't pursue accreditation, but continued to tell students they would, according to the lawsuit. CSU officials declined requests for comments on the lawsuit and the program's status. The Collegian will keep you updated on this developing story.
Yesterday, a construction site on CSU's campus was evacuated due to a crane falling onto a roof. The Mikkel-Raith Translational Medicine Institute research facility is now vacant until the crane can be removed and the site is safe to work at again. There are no injuries from the incident, and the construction site did not sustain any major structural damage. As this story develops, you can stay informed at collegian.com.
On Friday, students gathered for the 19th anniversary of the Columbine High School shooting to honor the victims and discuss gun violence. These students were part of the same group of people who participated in the recent school walkouts. The students discussed how the recent slew of gun violence affects their lives on a daily basis. The organizer of the event, Rochelle Delix, says that students are taking these walkouts seriously and that people are actively trying to change the current gun law system set in society.
I just think there's too many holes in the systems in place, and I think that we can come in and provide mentorship and social support and education for families and help alleviate some of those cracks. We're not going to save everybody, but I wanted to personally apologize to the younger generations for not doing something sooner.
Have you ever wondered what CSU and Fort Collins were like 70 years ago? Well, 104-year-old Carl Jorgensen could tell you just how much the campus and the city have changed since he moved here in 1947. Anyone walking around CSU's campus can see that it is home to a wide variety of beautiful foliage, but they might not take the time to consider how it got there. Meet Carl Jorgensen, a passionate horticulturist.
My first love was horticulture, which is an application of plant physiology.
Carl was a professor of horticulture at CSU starting in 1947, and he was the first city arborist of Fort Collins.
And so as you walk by those trees, you realize that if it wasn't for Carl Jorgensen and people that were that passionate about trees and flowers and plants in general, you're walking through history. Right here, every student gets a chance to walk around, and whether they see it or not, there's flowers, there's trees, and a large part of that is because of Carl Jorgensen.
Carl was part of the team in the 1970s who first determined that the trees in the historic oval were in poor health.
Well, it didn't make it. You didn't have to have a big information because you could see it. The trees were dying from the outside in.
This was quite disconcerting considering what a prominent place the oval has in CSU history.
I don't know of anybody that who's ever been here that when you say the word oval, they kind of have that look in their face like, yeah, that was a neat part of campus. There may have been other parts of their school experience may not have been so great, but the oval always seems to be kind of that almost romantic portion of their memories.
Although the trees have never fully recovered, Carl hopes that their legacy can live on.
Well, I hate to see the oval go. I think that's such a nice addition to Fort Collins. So anything we can do to build it up rather than tear it down is one of the things I'm in favor of.
Aside from the oval, Carl's work with trees as the city arborist greatly contributed to the overall beauty of Fort Collins as a whole.
People don't realize how beautiful this community is with all the trees and shrubs and evergreens that we have. People will come and say, not only do you have a wonderful climate, but you have a beautiful place to live. You know, we're living in heaven and don't even know it.
Carl made an impact not only as the city arborist, but as a professor as well, and he especially loved making a difference for his students directly following World War II.
They were such good students, simply because they had been through an awful lot when they were in the war. This was right after World War II. They had seen a lot of things that when they went to school, they said, we want to get an education.
Those who worked with Carl also have fond memories of the time they got to spend with him.
Carl was in the department. We would always have some functions. Some, for instance, back to school food fest, or we would have picnics, or we might have some receptions. Carl and his wife Margaret would always attend, and it was interesting. Carl would always be first in line to get the food, it seemed to be, and always great to see some of his fellow colleagues there once he retired, and always had some stories.
In the end, it is people like Carl who add to CSU's rich history and traditions.
Our tradition of professors here is really pretty impressive. We're not Yale, we're not Harvard, we're not Princeton, but so what? We're CSU, and we have people like Carl Jorgensen.
Just like Carl Jorgensen's legacy at CSU lives on, the work of others like him will ensure that the Oval will continue to be a staple of the CSU campus for years to come.
Several students on campus have recognized the distinction in the prevalence of men versus women in outdoor activities, leading them to host a No Man's Film Festival here at CSU. The Environmental Policy Awareness Coalition partnered with outdoor groups such as Women for Wildlands and the CSU Tourism Association for a one-night all-female adventure film fest that features women in the outdoors. The free event aimed at inspiring women to be more interactive with the environment in a variety of ways and to help them be confident in their ability to participate in outdoor activities.
This event is pretty significant to me, especially because I am very passionate about this subject. And I think it's just really important to recognize the imbalances, whether that's at the workplace or whether that's in the outdoor industry. And this is one of those imbalances between men and women. And I think women often get intimidated or don't feel confident enough to get out and do these sports because it's intimidating to be compared to men all the time. So this is kind of an event to empower and support those women and get them to go outside, to be bold, to be brave, and to be proud of themselves.
Organizers of the Film Fest hope to bring awareness to the lack of women in outdoor activities and provide the opportunity for them to connect to a variety of outdoor groups. For more information about the Film Fest, as well as upcoming sessions, you can visit nomanslandfilmfestival.org.
As a part of CSU's Earth Week, the Earth Day Festival took place on the LSC Sculpture Garden this past Monday as a celebration of sustainability on campus.
To highlight some of the ways CSU is committed to sustainability, the festival included fellow student groups, departments, and local organizations. The festival also had games, live music, and interactive booths where guests could learn more on the importance of sustainability.
We have a huge impact on the environment and everything involved with that, and it's our job to really bring it back to healthy standards, stable environment, and really keep it beautiful and enjoyable for the future.
The Society for Ecological Restoration sold trees at the festival in efforts to reach their goal of planting 1 million trees by the year 2020.
We can't do that ourselves, so we're asking student body, City of Fort Collins, to help us out with that.
All organizations that attended made sure the importance of sustainability and their efforts to maintain it was shared either through presentations or interactive games.
We want to educate about the importance of clean recycling as far as contamination goes into our bins and stuff like that, and as far as the importance of organic matter in our soils and how it really is beneficial for the plants to actually repurpose this stuff rather than to contaminate the landfills with methane gas, because one of our biggest methane contaminants globally is landfill food waste breaking down in landfills and producing methane.
The Zero Waste team plans to have an interactive map posted online within the next month showing where students and staff can compost on campus.
Because we know it's frustrating to get a coffee cup from Morgan's Grind and read, this is a compostable cup, and not having anywhere to compost it, because like we have these products for a reason and we need a facility to absorb, collect them so they actually get composted and not just trash.
The Earth Day Festival was just one of many Earth Week events that will continue throughout the week to showcase what makes CSU so green.
All Earth Week events are free and open to the public and will continue until this Friday, which gives students plenty of time to celebrate all things green at CSU. For more information on CSU's Earth Week and upcoming events, you can visit source.colostate.edu/earthweek.
Yesterday, a panel of environmental doctors gathered together to discuss bioeconomy sustainability. The event was held in correlation with CSU's Earth Week. Attendees were able to converse with the panel and analyze how their own environmental awareness and actions can make a lasting impact on this world. Speakers discussed ways we can use materials that will help keep the Earth more sustainable, as well as shift attention to which products are more environmentally friendly over others.
So, the game at hand then is to displace stuff with good products that work. As you know, you've worked in this stuff so long. Bio-based products have a history of not working as well as petroleum-based stuff. In the early days, you could get away with producing products like that. Not anymore. They have to be superior products.
Earth Week continues throughout the remainder of this week. To learn how to make your actions more sustainable, you can visit source.colostate.edu.
Well, I think it's great that CSU has so many events celebrating Earth Week.
Definitely. I think it's really important that CSU and just the Fort Collins community in general recognizes how important it is that we continue to keep this Earth sustainable.
Definitely. Don't go anywhere just yet, because Edgar Cedillo has your weather update to find out when the warm weather will be back.
And we also want to thank you for joining us on the last Tuesday show of CTV News for the semester. Have a safe summer, and remember, Rams take care of Rams.
I can't believe it's our last show.
I can't believe it's our last show.
I'm going to miss you so much.
Thanks for joining us.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back from break, Rams. Hope y'all had a warm start to your Tuesday. It was definitely a chilly one out there. Didn't feel like much like spring right now, but we'll get there eventually. Looking at current temperatures right now, 44 degrees. It's mostly cloudy. Sunset will be soon here at 7:49 p.m. It is pretty breezy out there, so it will make it feel like it's colder than it should be. Winds out of the northeast at 10 miles an hour. Looking at your almanac for today, we had a low of 34 degrees. We didn't warm up much with all the cloud cover today, but we did see some precipitation, rain snow mix today. We got less than a tenth of an inch. Last year we were at nice 68 degrees and a 43. We should be at 63 and 36, so we are way below average, but definitely we will see a warm later on throughout the week. Looking at your highs, lows across the state tonight, 29 in Fort Collins, 30 in Denver, 28 in Colorado Springs. Pretty cold throughout the state, 25 in Lyman, 27 in Burlington, 31 in Lamar. Looking out west, 26 in Alamosa, 27 in Gunnison. Telluride looks to be at 30, and then warm spot for the state looks to be at 38 in Grand Junction, so it will be warmer out in the western slope. Looking at your forecast for tomorrow, we have 65 degrees as your afternoon high, 39 for your morning low. We will have some pretty breezy conditions, so be on the lookout for that. Nothing like what we saw last week. Winds out of 10 miles an hour to the northeast. And we will have some gusts up to 10 to 15. Your sunset is definitely getting later and later at 7:50, so we do get to enjoy a little bit more sun. Looking at your hourly planner for tomorrow, like I said, cloud cover in the morning, 38 degrees. We will warm up pretty nicely to 48 around 11 o'clock hour. If you're getting out of class around 2 o'clock, we have temperatures around 60, staying around our high around 5 p.m. at 64, and then we'll stay pretty clear for your 9 o'clock hour. If you are studying for finals, 52 degrees for your temperature at 9. Looking at your highs across the state, like I said, 65 in Fort Collins, 68 in Denver, pretty much 50s and 60s across the state, 59 out in Burlington and Lyman, 64 in Pueblo, 65 out in Alamosa, matching that in Gunnison. Warm spot looks to be again out in Grand Junction, so if you want to go out west, definitely we will see some warm temperatures out there. Looking at your 5-day forecast, like I said, 65 tomorrow. We will see a slight cool down Thursday with the high of 60 and the low of 31. We will very nicely for the weekend. 71 on Friday, 38 as your overnight low. Saturday looks to be about the best day of the 5 days. 76 then, 42 as your overnight low. Warming, cooling down to 75 on Sunday, but will still be pretty nice out there. That's all I have for weather. It's been a pleasure giving you the weather this semester. That's all I have. So coming up next is Tara Barria with some softball highlights.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Come join Rocky Mountain Student Media as they host this year's Spring Beach Volleyball Tournament, Ram Slam. The event takes place on the CSU intramural fields and is open to the public. With 2 different divisions, you can get competitive with our Advanced League or just play for fun with the Recreational League. You can register online at collegian.com or at the Rocky Mountain Student Media offices in the Laurie Student Center, room 118. If you enjoy food and volleyball, come join this year's Ram Slam.
Good evening and welcome back from the Break Rams. I'm Tara Barr here one last time this semester to give you the latest updates on CSU sports. Coach Ryan Williams announced yesterday that 2 new additions to the women's basketball team, 2 transfers to the roster for the 2018-2019 season. Rochelle Marble is a 5'7" guard from Des Moines, Iowa, and will have immediate eligibility for Colorado State as a redshirt senior. Following a redshirt season in 2014-2015, Marble appeared in 88 games, playing in 28 games as a freshman and in 30 games in each of her sophomore and junior season. The second player Coach Ryan Williams announced is a 6'1" guard forward from Las Vegas, Nevada, Megan Jacobs. Jacobs will have 2 years of eligibility remaining upon joining the Rams for their upcoming season and will bring in Pac-12 experience from the University of Utah. When Coach Williams announced the 2 new additions, he mentioned, "I'm excited about the basketball ability of both Rochelle and Megan, but equally excited about how they can help carry on the tough-minded winning culture already established here at CSU. These are 2 really solid young women with many immeasurables that will add to the CSU winning culture, both on and off the court." Coach Williams has high hopes for the 2018 and 2019 season. Over the weekend, the track and field team had a successful weekend with many solid marks in multiple events at the Beach Invitational from Jack Rose Track on Friday. The high jumpers led the Rams in field events with notable performance on both men and women's side. For the women's side, Autumn Gardner cleaned an 8.75 mark that has only been topped by 48 performances in the NCAA this outdoor season. On the men's side, sophomore Trenton Wallace turned in a season-best performance, cleaning a 10.75 mark to rank 65th in the NCAA in the event. On the track, the freshman Destiny Rocker matched her time of a 13.4 run from the Mount Sac Relays on Friday to place 4th overall and is now number 2 collegiate. With that clock time now ranks Rocker 43rd in the NCAA this outdoor season. The Colorado State track and field team will meet this Friday for the last tune-up before the conference championship this Friday. This weekend, the CSU women's softball team played in a 3-game series against defending Mountain West champs San Jose State. The Rams didn't get the results they had hoped for, falling short in the first 2 games of the series, but on Sunday came out on top, winning 10-3. After the game, I had the opportunity to talk to sophomore third baseman Karina Gamboa about the game. Hi Rams, Tara Barr here from CTV Sports. Today I'm joined by Karina Gamboa. Karina, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Can you give me a little insight of today's game? How are you feeling? What emotions are going through your head right now?
So basically what I felt was that our 2 losses were just kind of hard, but I feel like we used that as fuel to get to the games. Sorry.
You're okay.
I'm struggling.
You're totally fine.
I think we used that as fuel for today, and like we got the win, and I think we were just confident. We were told to forget the bad and remember the good. So I think we definitely put that into today's game.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely saw the energy was a lot higher than I felt like it was the past 2 days.
I just think like we both just wanted it really bad, and you know I think they wanted the sweep, but we didn't want to let them have that. So I think we just fought really hard and did what we did.
Yeah, and you're also killing it this season. I mean, congratulations on already being one of the Mountain West Players of the Week.
Oh, thank you.
Batting .372, today being your 8th home run. What can you compare today's home run compared to the other home runs you've already had this season? Where would you rank this home run?
I would say that it was probably my 2nd best because it was in the first inning as well as like my Fresno one. So I think it's really important that we're able to score early in the game, which helped us for the rest of the game and gave us more confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are you expecting going into your next series against San Diego State? What do you think your team needs to do in order to prepare for that series?
I think we just don't need to take them lightly. Last year we got the series win, but that was last year and this year is new, so anything can happen.
Absolutely. The women's softball team will head to San Diego, California this weekend for a 3-game series over SDSU on Friday under the lights starting at 7 p.m. Men's golf finished as runner-up in the Mountain West tournament that was held in Bremerton, Washington over the weekend. On the final day of the tournament, the Rams were able to post a 2-over and finish at a 3-over with 11 shots back of champion UNLV. This gave UNLV their 3rd straight title. The Rams had 3 players tie for 5th, senior Max O'Fleek, junior Jake Stenoya, and sophomore AJ Ott. The men's golf awaits word on their location for the NCAA Regionals. The announcement will take place May 2nd at 3:30 in the afternoon. The women's tennis team didn't get the results they wanted over the weekend, falling to the Wyoming Cowgirls in a border war matchup, losing 5-1. The Rams started out strong in doubles with freshmen Emily Luschwager and Emma Corrin with a victory winning 6-2. Wyoming tied to score 1-1 with a win on court 2. Colorado State's duo Alyssa Golvala and Priscilla Palmero were leading 5-4, but unfortunately fell in a tiebreaker, giving the Cowgirls a win on court 6. CSU Corrin gave the Rams their only win in singles with a 6-1 win over Wyoming's Maya Scott. The Cowgirls clinched the match with 4 single victories. CSU will head to Boise, Idaho for the 2018 Mountain West Tournament for the 4-day event beginning this Thursday. Well, Rams, that's all I have for you tonight. Thank you for tuning in and letting me update you every Tuesday night with the latest updates on Rams sports. But don't go just yet. Up next, we have Lauren Wilson with entertainment.
You are listening to 90.5 KCSU Fort Collins with DJ Mean Beats,
DJ Nightshade, DJ Wildcard. Music to me is one of the best creative outlets that I can think of. An escape from the real world.
Music to me is an expression of love.
Go from like folk to hip hop to like classic rock, 1960s bossa nova. With music, there's like no boundaries.
I work here because I love music, and you do too.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Good
Good evening, CSU. I'm Lauren Wilson, overcaffeinated and ready to bring you the latest news on all things awesome. The food truck industry has grown exponentially over the last few years, enabling people to eat their food while standing up with as few as one hand. Fort Collins is no exception. The city is being hit with even more mobile food vendors this year. This season's newcomers include an acai bowl truck called Ohana Bowls and a mobile barbecue called Rose's Rub Shack. Even a CSU alum has opened up her own coffee cart, Bump and Grind, which specializes in French press and homemade breakfast burritos. As the warm weather starts to warm up, expect more and more opportunities to get your grub on the go. Or in my case, stain your white shirts while in transit. Well, that's all I have for you tonight, Rams. Local Beats will air tomorrow at 7 p.m. right here on CTV. As always, thanks for tuning in. Have a great night and a great summer, CSU, and if you can, do something that entertains you.